I think you ought to know. That men's radio. The place where men and women really speak. Oh man, what a show. It's men's radio. This crazy show is on 3 times a week. Now Russ and Phil are there to help with all your cares. We laugh, we cry, we talk like grown-ups do. But if you're sad and low, it won't cost you no dough. Men's radio, that's the place for you. With Russ Kane and Phil Dave.
Good Lord,
I'm
you
here.
made it.
I made it. Unbelievable, eh? What? Not half pop figures. Out of Unit 1 into Unit 2. How about a little bit of Dave D, Dozy, Beaky, Mick, and you know who, all right?
Oh, Paul Andrews has taken longer than I thought.
Yeah.
Live from Phil's bedroom.
You wish, Paul. You
No.
wish.
No.
He
Paul
dreams
Andrews.
about it. He dreams about it.
I'm afraid Paul Andrews is absolutely spot on. You do find me live from my bedroom. Yes, I am in COVID isolation, people.
What?
I've tested positive. I'm so sorry to say. God. I know
You are absolutely kidding me.
I wished I was. No, I'm afraid.
Jeez.
Yeah, no, it's really
What
quite.
the hell? Let me change my glasses. Carry on with your tale of misery.
I do. Thank you. I have to say, I don't feel too miserable for it. I'm pretty annoyed, but I'm not too miserable. In a nutshell,
I'd say come round here, but I'd be lying.
No, you're very kind, but no thanks.
Yeah,
No,
I just said it to sound good. So
I've been doing daily lateral flow tests.
Yeah.
Okay, we've been encouraged to at work because obviously going into a studio environment where you're mixing with other people all the time, it's somewhat insensitive to be sort of going into a building where there are many others and not doing at least daily tests.
Yeah.
So I've been quite regimented about it. I've done daily tests. On, I reckon, Monday it was. Started getting a little bit of a scratchy throat. And I
blame Jeremy Kyle.
It was...
He made me feel ill.
Scratchy throat. And I thought to myself, nah, don't be silly. You're just paranoid. So I took a lateral flow test. Sure enough, nothing. It was absolutely fine. It proved negative. Fine. Okay, carry on. Carry on going to work. Onwards and upwards. Tuesday.
My wayward son. Yeah, go on.
Tuesday, I started coughing a little bit. So I thought, oh, no, come on.
Is that why you took yourself out of the 3:30 at Kempton Park?
I thought this just must be a cold. Don't be daft. It can't be. But then I thought to myself, it doesn't feel like a cold, funnily enough. So I thought, all right, well, I'll do another lateral flow test just in case. Anyway, did a lateral flow test and it was negative. So I carried on.
This is good.
This morning, went to work as normal,
came
back today, and I thought to myself, well, actually, no, I'm not going to lie. I was going to do a lateral flow test later on, which is what I normally do. It's part of my routine. I do it later in the afternoon, just before, so I've got enough time to warn the powers that be that if I can't go into work too early in the morning, hey, I'll say, hang on a sec, I will, you might want to find someone else. And my mother was somewhat paranoid, and I'm going to be brutally honest.
Linda, paranoid and worried about your health? Surely not.
I'm going to be quite brutally honest here. I was quite blasé about it. I said, no, don't be ridiculous. I've done daily lateral flow tests. I'm absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. There are other things around other than COVID. And I'll be honest, I was a bit brusque. I was a bit frustrated because I thought
you were a bit rude to your mother, who has gone out on a limb, allows you to stay in Casa Dave free of charge. You're
Believe me,
72 years old and you're still there.
I did think to myself that this is ridiculous. I really don't need to do it. But I thought, okay, well, look, if it pleases her, then I'll do a lateral flow test just to prove, look, there's nothing to worry about. And lo and behold, 11:30 this morning, boom, 2 lines. So there we go.
And it's not even a party taking 2 lines.
Well, quite. I was going to say, back in the early days, 2 lines was actually sort of quite fun. Anyway, allegedly. Anyway, so there you go. That's my tale of woe for you. So you will now find in here for.
I think we've got to break this down a little bit. Got to break it down. I think you've been snogging Dawn Neeson.
Oh, is she tested positive? Well,
are you joking me? Oh,
no, I'm saying, has she? I don't know. I'm asking, has she?
I don't know. I just had visions of you snogging Dawn Neeson.
Oh, I see. Oh, right. I mean, I can confirm, no, I haven't. Not least of all because her husband would absolutely. Mind you, Dawn Neeson terrifies me, but her husband would. I think her husband would terrify me more.
Dawn Neeson is quite scary. but she's lots of fun.
There we have it.
She's lots of fun. Well, so how do you feel?
Honestly, I'm more frustrated more than anything else. I could easily
I
carry
didn't
on.
ask you about your love life. I just want to know how your health is.
Honestly, as far as health is concerned, I'm genuinely not kidding here. As I feel at the moment, I could very easily carry on regardless. I obviously won't, because I understand that, that there are certain
What's the
places.
shtick with this? You got to stay in your bedroom for 10 days or something? What's
The
deal?
isolation period is now 7 days. Don't forget, it's not 10 days.
God, what a bore.
But yes, that does mean I've got to stay pretty much bedroom bound for 7 whole days.
Shall I send Jay Kenton round, or what shall I do? I got to amuse you somehow, otherwise you're going to get upset.
It's really strange you say that, because I was supposed to be going around for a luncheon with a certain Ms. Kenton this weekend.
You call it lunch. I call it exhaustion.
But there you have it. Anyway, so that's my tale for you.
I'm very upset. I'm more upset for Linda and Ray, obviously, your long-suffering parents. God, so I've got a vision that your dad, being a very practical man, is going to drill a little sort of gap underneath your bedroom door, and like all those prison movies, there'll be a metal tray shoved underneath with like a bagel.
Possibly.
Once a day.
Well, I do want to reassure, because obviously my parents are quite sort of twitchy about the fact that someone
just a bit.
But I do want to stress, when I started getting the scratchy throat on Monday, I did say, look, I don't know what this is, but I don't want you to catch it. So I did keep a distance. I was at work for pretty much all day on Tuesday.
So basically, one of the biggest radio stations in the country is all going to go down with COVID.
Okay. So just to reassure you on that front as well, because
I've got no money.
We have very strict COVID measures in place. So I have to now send an email as soon as this. I should technically do it before, but as soon as the show is finished, I need to send an email to people in certain departments who would tell them who I've come into contact with, and they must warn them immediately, obviously. And then what will happen as well is that I will obviously be told sort of what duties I can carry out from home. I don't know whether or not there'll be many, but I will. The irony being is that I was supposed to be taking 2 weeks holiday from next Monday. Ha ha. So half of that holiday is going to be spent in isolation. Hooray!
Hang on. This is coming from the man who took himself off on a driving holiday. And I said, who's you going with? Oh, just myself. I like my own company. No. So basically, your idea of a holiday alone in your own bedroom is probably bliss.
No, I like my own company, but I don't like doing nothing, I can tell you. But anyway, it's fine. It doesn't matter. So there you have it.
What a pain in the ass.
I've got my COVID wipes standing by. I've got my lateral flow test ready and ready.
Run out of Andrex?
So all good.
What's the COVID wipe? Hang on, whoa. What's the COVID wipes when it's at home?
They're antiviral wipes. So
can't you just use Andrex or like everybody else? Right, let's dash up to... I'm bored now. Let's go up to Edinburgh. Hello, Veronica. Good day, gents. Let's dash across to... I don't know where he lives, actually. Hello, peepity peeps. Hello, everybody there. Live from Phil's bedroom.
Joking me.
I've no idea.
He's near my neck of the woods in Hertfordshire.
I thought he'd been banned.
Oh, is it? Oh, maybe. He doesn't know where I am, luckily, so potentially.
Christ for that, because Jesus, I mean, it's not the last thing you bloody want. Turning up with 28 key bags and Ziggy the dog. You're shoving it under through your door lock. What have we got? Joing, not going. Veronica, you lost me there. Back to Spain. Are the tests accurate? Look at her with her hip cat texting.
Okay, well, look, Chrissy, let's put it this way. I would question that. If someone tested positive and they have no symptoms, I would completely agree. I'd say, really, are they accurate? But the truth is that I am displaying certain symptoms. Okay, not all of them. I haven't lost my sense of taste or smell or my humor. But as a result of it, it does kind of marry up with what's going on. So it's annoying. Was it? Never mind.
Sorry to interrupt. Not really. You're saying you haven't lost your sense of taste, but I'm looking at that shirt.
What? Excuse me. The shirt is black. Thank you.
Oh, is it? It's a jacket. It's even worse. I thought it was a shirt. Jeez. Are you in the Territorial Army now? What are you, Bagel Division?
Well, it's
if the Eastern Europeans attack, Russia or China, you are there in the front line. Bagels, smoked salmon, have another bagel before you get shot. Oh,
I'll be the hole in the middle.
You probably would. Right. A book here from lovely Demisa. Hello, lovely. No, she doesn't talk like that. Hello, lovely man. Unlike Phil, I've had a negative LFT today. Dirty cow. Wish you well, Phil. Would love to stay and I can't do this, killing my throat. Would love to stay and listen. However, having spent 200 million quid on a ticket, I'm off to see Williams. Bienvenue, welcome. Cabarets at the Kit Kat Club, which is at that funny little theatre. You know the one, Phil. It's just off the embankment. Apparently, it's great. Not sure the rest of the audience we thought they realise they know all the words of all the songs.
If it's at the Kit Kat Theatre, does that mean there'll be a break? I thank you.
What? It's very good. What they've done is they've converted it. So it now, instead of saying, well, I can't remember the name of the damn theatre. Come on, gang, help me out here. The name of the theatre is now, it just says Kit Kat Club. And you don't go in the normal foyer. Oh, it's the Playhouse Theatre. Thanks, lovely. Lovely Demisa, she's there for us. It's meant to be fantastic. It's with the actor whose name I can't bloody remember. I'll tell you what. What?
Mind you, to be fair, I can talk. I can never remember names or anything like that.
I tell you why I'm a bit of a 2 and 8. I had to drop Ebony, the mini schnauzer, off to the groomers, right? And I said, well, what time? That was at 10. So Eddie Redmayne. I couldn't think of Eddie Redmayne. Thank you so much. Great actor. Eddie Redmayne. Very, very good. Dull as hell, of course, in Fantastic Beasts, which I thought was pants. Now then. Here we go.
I don't think it was that bad. It wasn't as good as the Harry Potter films.
No, I didn't like it. I was bored. I went to the cinema and see it. The first one, I was bored. Anyway, you will hear some noise because there's drilling next door. Nothing I can do about it. It's drilling. It's not a dentist's. Oh, hello. Are you there, Doris Stokes? Mother, is that you? Knock twice. So I dropped off.
Or drill twice.
Here we go. Knock 3 times on the ceiling if you want me.
Well, actually, if it's the boy, that maybe it'll be twice.
On the pipes. If the answer is no. God almighty. Dave Sleet, how are you? Your conversation with me is running around in my head, Dave. Please phone me again. Really got to me.
Dave will have some sort of explanation for that.
Yeah, let's dash across to New York. Then I'll go back to what happened to me so far today. Easy Don Brown. The defibrillator comment was intended for Russ Kane in a recent post. Damn right. How deep is this wisdom tooth extraction going to be?
You really need some omega-3. Your bones are making a terrible noise.
I mean, listen, that is every time I move my arm, it's like, can you hear? Just kidding. So anyway, I drop her off, and the lady who runs the grooming shop says, oh, 10:30 something. That's great. So I go off and have a coffee, and then I'm trying to meet up because somebody else is meeting him for coffee. Vimal, we started this little petition.
Yeah. Now tell us about. Hang on a sec. Now tell us about this because I don't know what's going on with it. I've seen it, but I just don't understand.
Oh, all right. Okay. So to catch everybody up, and this is to do with mental health, by the way, we have a little tiny local corner shop in our neck of the woods. It's really very, very small. So the aisles are like only one person can pass it, and it's your traditional corner shop. Like Ronnie Barker, open all hours, run by a wonderful guy called Vimel. Now, during lockdown, Vimel kept it open virtually 24 hours a day. He worked his socks off. And for those who couldn't get out, or the elderly, or the people who were ill, he would deliver. If you didn't have the money to pay him, he'd put it on the tick, he'd put it on account. He worked so hard delivering, getting goods in. If he didn't have it in stock, he'd personally go out and get it. He couldn't have been more fantastic. He saved our this is gonna do my head in. So he really saved us. And so much so, we all got together and someone said, we should tell somebody about it. And we kind of did. And he got a letter from the Queen. Joking aside, and he was so excited. He was crying. He showed me the letter, congratulating him and all the work he's done from the community. They published the letter. The next day, apparently, the Home Office turn up and sling him out the shop. And there's been a confusion over his visa. I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but he's not here illegally. Okay? and he didn't arrive in a little dinghy. He's been here forever. And
My say so they can't control the borders at Dover, but they can control a corner shop.
I got to be honest. I was going to write, but I'm going to say it to our gang all over the world. You know, if it had turned up in a dinghy in Dover and said hello to David Wimble, right, down there and just wandered up the beach, he'd probably be fine. He'd probably be in a hotel and getting dosh, right? But because he's been here working his arse off for years on end, and he works so hard, and he's so lovely and kind and thoughtful and friendly and just can't do enough. You know, he's really a bastion of the community. And there was a whole thing, and they'd taken away. I'm not going to bore you with the whole details. So, significant other says we should do something about it. I said, yeah. She said, should we get a petition? I said, well, okay, we'll get a petition, see what we can do. I thought the petition, because of just the street, it's a little street and it's a tiny shop, would get, if we got 100 signatures, it would just show willing to Vimal. As of this morning, Mr. Phil Dave, we have over 70,000 signatures on the petition. Over 70,000 signatures.
That's a lot of people he helped during isolation.
It's because people, you know, he helped us in the community. Now we want to help him. All right. We want to help him. Oh my God, I'm going machine guns now. Get your head down. Get your Kevlar second chance body armor on. So I can't believe it. This little thing. I didn't do the heavy lifting with this. I just did a little bit of amending, a bit of writing, and I stepped away because I got enough to do. And somebody very close to me did all the heavy work. Now, I'm not claiming any credit for it whatsoever. But 70,000, we're heading to 75,000, which means it'll be one of the top petitions on change.org. So I'm very excited about it. And I'm so pleased for him. He's crying. He can't believe the support he's got. He's like in tears. Let's dash up to 5. Hi, guys. Bit late today. Hope you're all well. Well, no, Sue Sleep. Phil Dave has got COVID. He's not well.
Can I just say very quickly, though, if indeed I had to do 7 days of isolation with that infernal racket banging drilling behind, I really would go nuts.
You don't like heavy metal music, do you? To me, it's like Metallica. I don't really.
Gracious me, it's horrific.
Veronica Curran up in Edinburgh, which is not too far from Fife, I would imagine, says, what does it say? Wowzers, the petition was one of the top being signed on site. I'm so excited about this. The point I wanted to make.
Just a cotton picking second. Can we clarify something here?
Yeah,
for 1 second.
Go ahead, Mr. COVID.
Bear in mind, her son and heir has just tested positive for COVID.
Yeah.
My mother's primary concern now.
Yeah.
Russ, is your back better now?
Well, thank you, Linda. I've got a feeling, and I don't want to upset you anymore, Colin COVID here, but I think when it comes to inheritance, I'm in front of you, and we're not even related. I think she summed it up. You know, Russ, is your back better now? And you,
I can take it.
Are you still here? You COVID coughing twerp. I don't think that was very supportive. That's just me.
In my defense, as soon as I tested positive, I did go straight into isolation. So, you know.
Can you imagine? If this is what your mum's like when you've got COVID and you're fine because you can broadcast, when you're going up Mount Kilimanjaro, I'm going to have messages every 20 minutes, aren't I? I know what's going to happen. Lynn, how do you think is all right? I've said to her, you'll need an extra thick cravat when you're going. Phil, in September, is climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. This is the man who going to Costco takes 3 days of planning, right? This is unbelievable. It's hilarious.
Hang on a sec. Don't misrepresent me. It's easily 2 days. It's not 3 days.
All right, 2 days. Graham Simpson, poshest Fife accent ever, Miss Jean Brodie was the other side of the bridge. Take it to the bridge. Take it to the bridge.
The bridge over Kwai.
Kwai. All right. So there we are. Who else is? Yeah. Well, the answer to your question. Yeah, my back's pretty good. My back's, now that I've said it, it'll probably go. Come in. He tore into her.
Above and beyond.
Claridge, do you want to read this? Is your throat all right? Seriously,
Sorry,
Phil. Is your throat all right?
Paul Claridge says, "Hi everyone. A bit late to the party today, as I was listening to the super cool Eddie Nestor.
Eddie Nestor for me now. Well,
ripping the leader of Croydon Council to pieces in his usual hard-hitting manner. He did the old rope-a-dope with her, made her feel all safe and secure. Then wham! He tore it.
I don't like that form of broadcasting.
Well,
I think it's duplicitous, to be honest with you, Paul. I'm not defending the leader. I don't know anything about Croydon Council, their leader, or their composition, but I do think with broadcasting, it's so. I don't like that. Let's make it all nice and all friendly, and then why are you having an affair with Fred Smith? What? You know, I mean, I don't like that sort of thing. I don't like that sort of thing at all. Glasgow last year, says Veronica Curran, prove what people power can achieve in similar situation. The thing I was trying to say about this petition with Vimal, the shopkeeper in this tiny little shop, and not having him chucked out the country or having it. Basically, listen to this. This is why it's unfair. He came over to study. He paid thousands and thousands of pounds to an approved Home Office college. All right? This is on the Home Office list. There's a sick relative.
Tell me about it.
He goes back to India briefly, and while he's away, the college goes bust, taking all his money with him. The college goes bust, out of business. He arrives back to come back to his home in England. At the airport, not Stansted, City Airport, I think it was. They say, well, he says, I'm at the college. They said, well, the college doesn't exist. They've taken his money, gone bust, not notified him. So at the airport, they take away his passport and they take away all his identification papers. Now he can't do anything. He can't go anywhere. He can't enroll anywhere. He's got no identification whatsoever, and he can't get the stuff back. That's why we did the petition, because he's a lovely guy as well. Shut up, said Monroe. Back up to a big Scottish contingent today, Phil.
Phil Hope doesn't have too many symptoms. Well, either that or I can't read is one of them. I had it in November, but I am okay. And I've been in isolation since New Year as neighbour. Oh, wow. Boredom is the name of the game. Well, Sue, I have to tell you, that's probably the bit I'm most annoyed about. I know that sounds terrible because obviously I should be more concerned. I should be more concerned about the fact that my oh gracious. Sorry, I've just received shoot. I've just received a message from my manager. Not good. Anyway, let's not worry about that. I will deal with that in a second.
Are you playing centre forward or what? Are you late for training, or what is going to happen?
Okay, can I just?
It was a game of 2 halves. I thought Phil Dave did great. The header in the second half was fantastic. You know, he was on the centre. God.
Okay, allow me to explain the situation I find myself in. This morning, and tomorrow morning, I was supposed to, and I did have this morning, someone as we say in the trade, shadowing me. In other words, they were going to watch what I do so that when I'm off for the next couple of weeks, they can take over.
Take your job for half the money. Yeah. Okay. We know how radio works.
Well, he ain't going to be doing that anytime soon because apparently this chap was unvaccinated. And because this chap's unvaccinated, it means he automatically has to isolate as well. Oops.
See, I'm with Paul Andrews on this. I think you just go around snogging everybody at the radio station. And that's why you're ill.
Well, I mean, as irresistible as I'm sure this mug is, at the same time, no, it's not strictly speaking true.
Sen, you're right. This is why there's a problem. This is why there's a problem in the Premier League. Phil was meant to be playing up front.
Yes, you could just imagine that, couldn't you?
Now, I've been asked to have, I'm not mentioning any names whatsoever, but in terms of business, I've been asked to have a meeting with somebody who is not vaccinated. I'm not going to have it. I'll do it on Zoom. I'm not going to do it. Am I wrong?
No, I have to say that.
Am I wrong?
Well, if I'm honest, yes, because exactly the same way that if someone wasn't vaccinated against, if exactly the same way if someone wasn't vaccinated against flu, you probably would have very happily had a meeting with them.
It's not flu. We're not talking about flu, are we?
No, we're not talking about flu, but we're talking about a coronavirus that could easily do the same damage that flu does, depending on just someone's health. state of.
Yeah, but the flu it's the long COVID. I've got to be honest with you. The thing about this corona and my corona and all the rest of it is this. I'm not too worried about the symptoms. I can rest up. The long COVID I can't do because having had double pneumonia, my lungs are not 100%. So I don't want to get that. And also the tiredness is so debilitating. I know when I had not the booster, but the second shot, the tiredness was absolutely bloody awful. I couldn't bear it. I couldn't bear being that exhausted all the time. I know Sen's had it, a load of you had, and Luke Newman saying, I had the booster on Monday. I felt horrendous. I felt horrendous yesterday. What were your symptoms, Luke? I'm interested. What were your symptoms there?
I can actually, for me, with the booster, I felt pretty rough afterwards, the day after. And it felt like I'd been
roofied.
It felt like I was hollow. That's the only way I can describe it. It felt like nothing inside me was doing anything, and I was just floating around. It was a really ghastly. That really run down.
You felt like you were hollow.
But that really run down feeling you get after you have had flu, and you're just shattered to the point where you can't do anything. It was a bit like that after the booster for me, but it was only for one day. I felt like that.
Wow. But you are in showbiz, so of course you're hollow.
You say, in a cruel twist of irony, if you have the booster, you are more likely to catch COVID if you've had the booster. But no, it's true. But you are more likely to experience mild symptoms.
I'm just going back to bed. I think I just hide under my duvet. From Azadon Brown, I know he doesn't talk like that, in New York State, not New York City, where Elizabeth Green is, but New York State. 60 Minutes Australia posted a recent show concerning Prince Charles and others exchanging citizenship for funds. Oh, crap. Well, Vimal works in a little shop. Probably makes about tuppence halfpenny, so bless him. Graham Simpson, interesting question. Would you take a meeting with someone who'd had COVID and natural immunity? I don't know what natural immunity means, Graham. Seriously. I don't understand that. How do you have natural immunity?
Natural immunity means that your body has built up resistance to COVID.
Who says that? Who says? Where did this come from?
Virologists. Hang on, if you let me finish. Virologists will say it. If you had COVID, then of course your body builds up a natural immunity to it. It's the same with anything. If you have something, you build up a natural immunity.
The answer to your question, Graham, is I'm not taking meetings with anybody. Indoors. I'm not. Sorry. Just not doing it. If you need me and it's that urgent, we can do it on Zoom. You don't need to be seeing me face to face. You see me on Zoom, we can discuss whatever. Not Graham, because Graham aren't doing anything. But people who want to meet me and for business and everything's on Zoom. It's fine by me. Saves the travel, saves the time, saves the faff. Saves 2 hours of the day, which I can put to work, right? Now Paul says this. Can we all stop, please, taking the P out of Phil? That's his mum's job.
Thank you, Paul. I very much appreciate your backing there and your backtracked backing. So.
Paul, the thing about it is, Paul, it's too good an opportunity. We have struck a rich comedy vein in our mining here. And I think we have to mine that rich comedy vein until it's exhausted, which Phil will be.
In the coming days, I fully anticipate I will be exhausted.
In all seriousness, oh God, I can't believe I'm saying this. Is there anything I can do? God, it's like
you are very
kind, taste in my mouth.
The main thing is obviously just knowing that you are part of alleviating that boredom with the Daily Show. I'm sure will be more than enough. Don't you worry about it.
No, do you mean, in all seriousness, are your folks all right to go out and get food and everything? Because you can't.
No, we'll do it we'll order it in. I won't ask them to go out.
So middle class. I like that. I admire that about you. You're middle class. Well, if you need anything, just
very frustrating to say the least. Of course it is, and I have to tell you, I am already bored at the prospect of sitting in this very spot for the best.
It would drive me insane. This is what I dread more than anything.
Yeah, no, that's without doubt what's annoying me the most. But at the same time, I do realize that I'm one of millions who've gone through this. it is. I had COVID before. I had it back in March 2020. So
this whole bullshit about you can't get it twice is rubbish, isn't it?
But that's long been known that it's not true. You can't get it twice. That's for a long time. They have said, of course, you can get it again, but they've said you can get the different strains of it again. So in other words, it's not terribly like. Let's just say hypothetically, I think I had the alpha strain of it, which is the original strain of it. I felt horrendous with that. Really, really ill. Luckily, I wasn't living at home then. I was living with my sister. And she actually...
Lucky old her. Hey?
Well, no, you say that. Excuse me. It was her who gave it to me. So don't you still feel sorry for her? Thank you very much.
I don't feel sorry for your sister.
But anyway,
I feel sorry for your sister.
Is that when I was living with them, it wasn't so much of a worry, obviously, for my parents, because we were just staying right away from them. With this, obviously, this is the first time I've had it, knowing that my parents are very nearby. However, I am still not desperately worried because they are triple jabbed as well. And Omicron, which I have to assume is what it is. I have to assume it is Omicron strain. I mean, heaven forbid a million times it's Deltacron, which is not so good, but that's only in Cyprus at the moment, from what I understand.
It's even back to Sen Monroe. Typical.
Well, yes, no, there is another new strain out, of course.
What's it called? Kebab strain.
No, they've nicknamed it Deltacron because it is the love child of the Omicron strain and Delta strain. So, but
I can't take any more of this crap. I can't. I'm like everybody else. I am done with it.
It's a virus. It mutates. It's going to make you feel a bit rough for a few days, and more often than not, you will get over it. It is hideously sad how many people have been lost to COVID, but the vast majority of people have survived. They felt pretty rough, but they've survived. And this is what really hacks me off. Why on earth we don't focus on that? We didn't think twice about cold or flu before, okay? And I'm sorry, but whether you like it or not, a coronavirus is the likes of cold, flu, and COVID. They're all under the same bracket. They might have different effects.
Phil, I still blame San Monroe. That's all there is to it.
Fine.
Now, Elizabeth Green, live from New York City in Manhattan, where it's blooming cold, apparently. Elizabeth, good morning. I was with some doctors yesterday, and they do not speak highly of how things are being managed. Managed in America or managed in Britain? We need more details. Linda Dave, you can get it if you've been triple jabbed. I love the fact that your mother could yell through the door, but no, she sends a message to a radio station on men's Linda, you kill me.
Now, I have to say, though, that I am well aware that one can. Thank you. I am well aware that one can catch COVID from being triple jabbed. First and foremost, I'm living proof of that.
Yeah.
Secondly, even if I wasn't living proof of it, I think I said a matter of maybe 10 minutes ago that if you are triple jabbed,
she doesn't listen. She doesn't listen to you. She's bored shitless listening to you. She's listened to you for 35 years. She's had enough.
You're more likely to catch it if you are triple jabbed. Okay, that's just fact. That is actually very. That's. I think it was the World Health Organization or the Office for National Statistics have published that, saying it would appear as more likely if you are triple jabbed, but you are much less likely to be seriously ill from it. So.
Okay, right. So Elizabeth Green is saying the doctors in the States were not happy the way it's been done. I'm suspicious that Dr. Fauci he's got shifty eyes. Elizabeth Green, good, new noise. Yes, it's a virus. We always ever just had to sit it out with the virus. Well, that's true. Oh, look, now you've upset her. You've upset her.
I think you'll find you have.
I've never upset Linda Dave. Linda likes me. She's not so keen on you because you missed the Kilimanjaro, COVID Kilimanjaro, man. I'm just being a contributor to the program, says Linda.
I would say I'm in. Actually, no. I am in trouble. I've just realised I'm not allowed out of this room, so I'm not going to be able to get food or anything. I'm relying on others.
So not so cocky now, are we? Not such a big shot. Not such a big shot. Suddenly, all of a sudden, we've decided we need other people's help. You haven't worked that out until now. 12:34, 34 minutes into the show. You've only just worked out you can't leave the room.
How long do you think I could survive on lockets and strepsils for?
Not that long.
Oh.
What size shoes do you take? It's an old Larry Viner gag. Asa, Azidon Brown says, Elizabeth, I've heard the same from folks at John Hopkins and in Canada as well. I think it's been a bit of a cluster, you know what, over in the States.
But the most important thing is that because President Donald Trump got it so wrong, as long as President Joe Biden is getting it so right. Oh, hang on a second.
What's the matter? What's going on?
You think there's smug individuals out there now who are saying Biden was the lesser of the two evils. Are you sure?
I'll tell you this. I was doing hours of podcasts yesterday. I can't talk about it just yet, but it's an exciting new project with America. And excuse me?
No, sorry.
I saw that.
If you're going to be all secret about it, then fine. We don't want to know about it anyway.
You're very childish sometimes.
Uh-huh.
Very, very childish.
That's
Linda, don't feed him. Let the little shit starve for a couple of days. Then he'll change his chippy attitude.
Actually, that might help.
Attitude's going to change.
I need to shed a few pounds. Maybe COVID's good for waist loss. Wait,
don't be ridiculous. COVID's not good for anything. It's a pain. Look, Chrissy Richards is giving me a brain ache here. So please answer her question. I posted a video from a few years ago when I was locked out of the BBC and you opened the door 3 o'clock in the blooming morning. No one opened the door, and you turned up. You were wearing the most bizarre outfit, even for you.
Well, just for you, Russell.
Come on. What, have you got it? He opens the door. He looks like an extra in a spaghetti western. I don't know what the hell he was wearing. It was 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was too knackered to really, have a whole conversation. But it was grist to the mill when it comes. It was one of his. Oh, you happy, Chrissy Richards out in Spain? It's your mum's blanket. It's off your mum's bed. It's a blanket. What the hell is it?
It's actually a poncho. So,
when they sold it to you in the shop, did they say, I can't believe, Dory, we've had that for 17 years. Finally, some schmuck bought it.
Well, it's curious you say that because
where did you get it?
This was sold in Top Man, would you believe?
Back to Elizabeth Green, Top Man.
Hang on, it was sold in Top Man. Yes, sorry, blame Elizabeth's brother. It was sold in Top Man. And the truth is that it was sold as a men's.
You keep talking, I'll do the background music.
Oh, I see. You're doing the cowboy. Oh, I see. It was sold as a men's poncho. Actually, hang on a sec. You're right. Hang on.
He just needs a Stetson and a peacekeeper on his hip. The only thing he's going to have on his hip is a bottle of single malt. Oh God, he's like watching a Chrissy thinks it's very fetching. Chrissy,
it was sold as a poncho, and as a result of it, I'm warning you. This is how I've got to amuse myself for 7 days. I'm going to go out my mind otherwise. I suppose I've got to be grateful the isolation's been cut to 7 days, but still. Anyway,
no one. Either you belong in Stamford Hill or the Wild West. I haven't decided.
Can I just say, how do you wear headphones? How do you wear headphones when you got a hat on, for crying out loud?
God only knows. No, Elizabeth Green said, "Children, it's the man with no name." Yes.
So the poncho was sold. Yeah. And so I thought, okay, well, I like being quirky. I like being different. I'll go for it and see what happens.
Get off your horse and drink your milk.
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah.
Get off your horse and drink your milk. How can I drink milk? I haven't had anything brought to me.
Brought to me? Can I just tell you something? There is an old saying, young Padawan, all right? Wise you are not. There's an old saying, you catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. And you, being rude to your mother at this point in time, really is like shooting yourself in the foot.
Don't
So
worry.
I would really, you've got like 20 minutes to really crawl. Now. I mean, I would crawl, and just because otherwise you're going to starve.
Phil, I would teach you how to wear your Stetson and your earphones.
Oh yeah, well, do come on. He needs to know. I can't believe you have a Stetson. Where did you buy your Stetson? No, don't do that. You look like something from Middle Earth or the Grumbleweeds.
I'm Wurzel Gummidge with a haircut.
Jeez, what are you? Phil, you've been ill for 2 hours. You got a week of this crap.
I'm telling you, I am going to go nuts. I can't do this.
Be a straitjacket, but by this afternoon, you'll be. This is awful.
This is. I'm sorry. It's not COVID. That's the worst thing. It's the isolation. But anyway, never mind. I'm sure I will survive.
Oh, God. I like it that Elizabeth Green in New York City, where it's freezing. I think it's snowing there, isn't it, Elizabeth? It says it's a lovely taste of England as I wake up. There we go. Holy moly. Anyway, the thing I was saying about this petition with Vimal, I just wanted to say one thing. What are you saying now? What?
I said, this is a lovely taste of England. I'd say you got out while the going's good.
Yeah, you're bloody right. I wouldn't want to be in America right now. I wouldn't mind being down south. I don't want to be in LA anymore. I really don't. All my pals there, it's changed horribly. I'm not going to go into reasons why. With the petition, I wrote this on Facebook on my Facebook post, and I think it's to do with it is to do with mental health. So bear me out. We all look at life, and so much of it going to hell in a handcart, as I said, and we sit there and we go, "There's nothing we can do about it. Can't do anything about it." And for a lot of the things, it's true. But when you bring being a libertarian, as I am these days, bringing things to a very local level, you realize that when people get together as a community, you really can do a lot. I honestly thought if we got 100 people to sign this petition, we'd be doing really well. 70,000 people, plus it got picked up by the Evening Standard, plus it's been picked up by the Independent. They both run articles, and when it gets a little bit more, probably TV will step in. And it's just like, if people are right-minded and think, let's do something about this. Yeah, we're the little people. We're the little people. We don't have a voice. We've been kicked under the bus. No one cares. But when you fight back, even in a simple thing like this, it just makes you feel, well, maybe stuff is possible. Maybe change is actually possible. And that's what excited me so much and enthused me so much about this case with Vimal. A shopkeeper in a tiny little local shop being treated, let's just say unfairly. Let's just say unfairly in the great scheme of things. It seems really rough. You get a letter from the Queen officially congratulating you on all your work, and the next day, so the local little paper, local little Southeast London paper does a piece about it because it's lovely, and the next day the Home Office come and shove you out the shop. I mean, how embarrassing. And he sat on this for ages until
I think actually that's got to be the worst thing about it is, if they do get the wrong person, it's not subtle. I was actually in a restaurant once where several people were rounded up by immigration enforcement. And I mean, naturally, the first thing I said was, I hope this doesn't mean the order's going to be delayed. But
you're very caring. You're very, very caring.
No, it didn't. Excuse me. It annoyed me. I was going to pay good money to be in that restaurant anyway. Luckily, the food wasn't delayed, but it was quite weird to watch. Seriously,
only you. See, if I said that, everyone go, "What a bastard!" You say, "Go, that's so sweet."
What?
You're much nastier than I am.
Cotton picking. Okay, you tell me, hand on heart, watching this right now or listening to this right now. If you were in a restaurant and you were really hungry, you were looking for your food, don't tell me there wouldn't be a split-second thought that goes through your mind. I hope my food's going to be here on time. You would. I
would have got up and left. Graham Simpson don't want to taste in New York where they're allowing 1 million Wow. Is that right? I didn't know this. That story has skipped my mind. Don't want to taste in New York right now where they're allowing 1 million non-citizens to vote Mayor Adams. Great plan. You need a COVID certificate to eat at McDonald's, but nothing whatsoever to vote. Well, that sucks. That's ridiculous. They're gonna cop it so bad. They're gonna cop it so bad. I tell you, when the midterms come, they're gonna they're gonna have a can of arse whoop opened in their faces, and they're gonna go, "Oh, we never saw that coming." Well, I'm telling you, it's happening. It's coming. And I think the orange one can get voted back in. I hate to say it. I'm sorry. I'm not. Because please don't think I'm a big fan. I'm not. But I think I think come the next election, they're going to be put out to dry. Dave Sleet. This is an interesting. Here we go. The majority. You speak, COVID boy.
The majority of little people.
Oh, shut up! No one's falling for it.
The majority of little people. Let's remember, for evil to rise, it only rises from a minority. When the majority don't stand against it. Well done to everyone supporting the campaign. Well, I have to tell you, Dave, I completely and utterly agree with it, because I still live in great hopes that the minority of people are from the woke brigade. And until we stamp it out, anyway.
They are the woke. The woke brigade is the minority.
They're making the loudest noise.
Empty vessels make the loudest noise. I wondered where he'd been. Michael Verby, hello, chats. Apologies, I've been AWOL recently. Good luck, Russ. Oh, bless you. Thanks, Michael. Where you been?
Have you been in Spain? Just asking.
Can't do that. Elizabeth Green and Boris still there? Well, I'm still here, and Boris, I think, is going to get his ass kicked. I don't think it's sustainable. I mean, it pisses me off. It pisses me off. You can't ask people to say goodbye to their mums and dads and grandmas and grandparents by bloody Zoom, and you're having a sodding party. I mean, it's disgusting. I'm sorry. But I'm not putting politics aside. It's just disgusting. You can't ask people to make so much sacrifice and you're just partying. I mean, sod off. Sod off. That's all there is to it.
It is unbelievable. I mean, I say it's unbelievable, but it's kind
of
not
unbelievable. It's just shit.
Because
let's call it what it is. It's disgraceful. It's a disgraceful double standard.
Well, I mean, what annoys me now is that Boris has said during PMQs, apparently during this program, he has actually said during PMQs that he offers a heartfelt apology. Well, I hate to say it, he's offered an apology. He got caught.
Too late.
No, but this is the problem.
Apologizing, he got caught. Yeah, you're right. He apologized and got caught.
I mean, exactly the same way that I would expect to be absolutely lambasted if I thought to myself, okay, well, I've tested positive for COVID. Actually, you should see now what I've been bombarded with. Text messages, emails, all saying you've tested positive for COVID. You now have to do this, that, and the other. I've got to send emails to work. I've got to do like you would not believe for testing positive.
What do you have to do?
Okay, I'll go into that.
Walk us through it. It's important. Walk us through it.
Just imagine if I ignored it and carried on regardless.
Yep.
Anyway, so I just okay. So let me tell you so this was the text message I've just received. Okay, it's from the NHS test and trace. It says Philip.
Philip, you are pregnant.
You have tested positive for COVID-19 and must now self-isolate. You need to complete your NHS test and trace information. We can then give you more.
Hang on, whoa. Is the test and trace rubbish still going? I thought we gave that up.
I'm not in the least bit tempted by that, but I will do it if I've been asked to. We can then give you more advice about your self-isolation, including the end date. We will also ask you about the people you have been in contact with and whilst you may have been infectious. This is so we can give them important health advice and support. To complete your information, sign into your NHS test and trace using your ID and your unique URL.
Your unique URL?
It's a unique website, basically, a unique web page.
Okay.
So look, I mean, whatever.
Pain in the ass. Yeah, why don't you just tell everybody, put their head between their legs and whistle up your Barcelona.
Well,
Ramsey says,
at least I know how I'm going to be spending the isolation. It turns out doing a lot of admin. Hooray!
It's just crap, isn't it? Ramsey says, sorry for just turning up. Ramsey, you are welcome to drop in anytime. Had a work call. Don't show off that you got a job. We're all jealous. And dropped into PMQs to hear the PM's heartfelt and sincere apology. I'm
making it up.
I'd like to apologize to the country for being caught and being an arse.
Wouldn't even know who I'd want to take over. This is the problem.
Well, this is the problem. The problem is the alternative's even more crap than what. I don't want to even get into it. It's not a political thing. Can we just, for a second, just take the politics out of it? It's just a shitty thing to do. It's so duplicitous. It's just makes my skin crawl. So many causes on change side are heartbreaking. It gives people an opportunity to make their opinions count in a world full of madness. Veronica, you're absolutely right. She's going back to the petition that we started, which now got like 70,000. Can you believe that, though, Phil? I swear to God, I said to you know who, if we get 100 signatures, we're doing well. And she said to me, "No, I think we can get maybe up to 1,000." And I thought, "No, I don't want to burst her balloon." I thought I was.
You've had your Captain Sir Tom moment.
It's weird, isn't it? Though it's fascinating. You never know which way the cards are going to fold, do you? How people are going to jump. How I thought they'd ignore it because they go, "Well, so what?" And the other thing I'd like to say is this. And in fact, I didn't make this point. Significant other made the point to me on the phone yesterday. It's a good thing. Everybody, the left would have you believe, and it's bad for your mental health, they would have you believe that Britain is a horrible racist country.
Oh, it is, don't you know?
Well, be careful with your words here, COVID boy.
No, it's not. But
no, the point is, everyone would say, "Oh, they're racist," and everybody, awful, right? And here's this Indian shopkeeper, right, who has just been embraced by the community as a thank you for what he's done. And I wish they'd stop pushing this divisive, horrible narrative, because it's not true. It's not true. Here we've got, this is good, and we want to see it. Paul Claridge. By the way, well done, Paul. I was so pleased. He sent me a long note yesterday, and the police in East Croydon and the transport police finally got their acting gear and just whooped everybody's ass who needed it. Phil, I feel compelled. Please read it out. It's making me giggle.
Phil, I felt compelled to mark your self-isolation with an art attack. Sent you a private message. Paul, I have that private message right here.
I'd like to see this private message.
Depressed before. I think
don't be depressed because you have the love of everybody.
Oh, great.
Not from your mum. Go on, let's see. Can we do it? What do we got?
I mean, look, for goodness sake, man. Look, by the sound of it, I'm not even going to get any food at this rate, so I don't think that's going to be the case.
You piss your mum off anymore. No, you won't. She goes, sod him, he can stuff. I got things to do. They're probably off to Claridge's. They're probably off to, somewhere else. They're probably La Pulo Po having a romantic dinner. How's Phil? And your dad goes, Phil who? Now, Lisa James. Hello, Lisa. Hope you're feeling, because Lisa's having not the best of times. So, Lisa, I hope you're doing all right today. I know it's a day by day. Take it day by day, maybe hour by hour. That's how I divide things up. Test and trace is just another way of being tracked. People need to wake up. Ramsey, I just watched The Muppets. I'd rather vote the Peaky Blinders. Well done on your walking. Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate that. That's another of my little projects, which is going okay.
As Paul Andrews does say, and I hate to say this, thank you very much, Lisa. She wishes me better. It's very kind. Thank you. As Paul Andrews says, your phone tracks you all the time. And if needed by anyone, well, frankly, Snowden exposed that. That didn't need an app for that. It's absolutely right. And Paul is right, more importantly, that if you have a smartphone, if you use social media, which, Lisa, I know you do because you've just messaged us through Facebook.
Yep.
I hate to tell you, you're tracked, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, people go, "Ooh, I'm not having this." I'm like, "Hey, look, then throw your phone away, matey, and write to everybody." This is interesting, Phil. This is your neck of the woods because I don't understand tech because I'm not interested. I wish we could post pictures here. Then we could share our artwork, and Russ and Phil could give us marks out of 10. Jeez.
Well, Ramsey, you'll be delighted to hear the way in which you do this is that you can message either us or I through private messenger on Facebook, and I'm perfectly sure that we will get said artwork. But there you have it.
What have we got from Lisa James? Actually, just go to settings and switch off location. No. Phil, explain why that doesn't work.
No, it's not enough. You're quite right. You can go and switch off location. That's fine. But that assumes that just solves all of the tracking problems. But no, I mean, look, silly things that, for example, people post photos on there. And what do you think those photos are? those photos are proof that you've been somewhere. And believe me, there is software clever enough now to be able to determine from backgrounds where people are if they need to.
Absolutely.
They marry things up with different scenes and what have you, thanks to the likes of Google Earth and stuff like that. It is doable. If someone is going to be tracked, they will be tracked. It's as simple as that. There are CCTV cameras all over the place. There was a report I read.
How come you can't find criminals, though? They can find you if your wheel goes into a bus lane for 10 feet, they'll find you. But if somebody gets half the crap beaten out of them in the street, can't find them. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, no,
can't find the people who abused the kids in the bus. Can't find the people who were abused in the bus.
No, I know it's terrible, but there was, that's funny that. But there was there was a report I was reading or an article I was reading a few years ago now, actually. So even then, it was saying something ridiculous. Like every time you leave your house, something like 500 images taken of you in London.
Yeah.
Isn't that unbelievable? 500.
That's not enough for me now. I'm, clean shaven with my new hair.
In London, or the average day out in London, you're captured 500 times.
And they still can't find people who commit crime. It's bullshit. What are they doing with all this? You see, what are they doing with all this? I don't get so paranoid about it. You want to know that I'm going to have a copy in my corner shop? I don't care. Yes, I'm happy to have a big bloody deal. So what? But, muggers and people stealing your cars and all the rest of it, they can't find them. What's the point of all this crap? I don't get it. Here we go. Ramsey says this. Excuse me. I'm trying to save your throat, COVID boy. At Christmas, I got some Apple AirTag. I don't know what Apple AirTag. What's an AirTag?
Hilarious. You try and save my throat at 5 to the hour. Thank you. No, the Apple AirTags.
You see, Linda. You'd put out the hand of friendship to get spat on.
Well, it's only in a deal.
Don't feed him.
Okay. AirTags are, in a nutshell, key rings, or they're more than just key rings. They're anything really you want them to be. What they do is you can attach them to, say, keys or a phone, or well, actually, no, not phone. It's built in. That'd be daft. Keys, something else that you maybe have a bit of a habit of losing, and then through your smartphone, the Apple tag will reveal its location and make a noise.
Could I have an Apple tag for my temper if it's always things that you're losing? Paul Andrews, average 35-year-old has 250,000 items of data stored on them, I bet. Every app, says Dave Sleet, requires track permissions. Every pic taken on a smartphone geotags the data. Absolutely. Shopping this morning, at least 6 people walking around shopping on their phones. Can't live without. Totally. And in New York, you're lucky you have someone to look. Hang on. No.
Well, no, actually,
it is a sad voice, Phil. Sad voice.
Can I just say,
sad voice.
Elizabeth says, no, you're lucky you have someone to look after you. Just saying, I have to say that actually, given the situation, given that I obviously live with my folks, personally, I would actually rather at this stage be living on my own, because then I wouldn't worry about them.
That's what they're thinking.
I thank you for saying, you're quite right. Of course, there is life involved.
Your mother's in the kitchen going, "Alibi, alibi." Nothing. Elizabeth Green, you will be fine.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am not in the least bit worried.
Like a villain laughs. I never post anywhere I am at the time. Russ is spot on. They use the camera to see you on a bus lane and speeding, but fail to get any footage of rape, attacks, or murder. We live in a corrupt world. Well, I don't think they're being corrupt about it. I just think they're being inefficient. I don't think they're doing it deliberately, Lisa, to be honest with you. But stop it. I want to get off. Oh, Lisa, with you, 100%. 100%. Had enough. It's all nonsense.
Luckily, you don't get away with it.
Phil, sent another PM in case Russ feels his. I'm Woody. You'll forgive the expression. There we are. So, listen, more importantly, we do wish you, I know I've taken the rip out of you mercilessly for an hour, but...
Oh, you're so kind.
Oh,
there we go, just in time. Karma is very cruel, I'm just saying.
Yeah, everybody in the house, get down.
Mad.
Anyway, we do wish you well. Will you phone me later in the day just so I can feel better about myself?
I will.
Phone me. Let me know how you do. If you do, I hate saying this, but if you do need anything, I will drop it round. Whatever you need. If you need, if your folks can't do it because they hate you.
Look, you're very kind, but rest assured, I will be absolutely fine. There will be a plan of action. I will make sure that my folks stay well and truly out the way, out the kitchen if I need to go in there or anything like that. All be fine.
What's going to happen? We've got a few seconds. Doesn't matter if you run over. What do you have to fumigate? I'm serious. What happens? You're going to go into the kitchen. They'll leave. You spray it or something? What are you
Yeah, I
gonna do?
have already. I've sprayed down everything and wiped it down with an antiviral wipe. So we'll see what happens. We should be all right.
Well,
Thank you. See you on Friday. Every day. Bye.